Oh, and you may notice the stock is looking much better than it did before. I really, yeah, I didn't like what I'd done previous. Yeah, so what I did, wiped down the surface with meths to get rid of the sort of sticky residue from the oil. Then I've gone over it with a different type of stain. I've used this stuff. So this is Indian rosewood, and I mean, yeah, look, that's beautiful, really, isn't it? That looks absolutely fantastic. Moral of the story, use something a bit darker than you're expecting to. So yeah, varnish wise, I'm using this stuff. It's an interior varnish, granted, but it works fine. I've been using it for years. Like things like this that come in and go out if it starts raining, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't want to varnish something with this stuff and leave it outside, but then again, when would you leave your gun outside? You'd hope not. Yeah, it's a good product, and this Diamond Hard, it really is tough. Good tough varnish. Now, I don't use a brush when I'm doing stocks. I use a cloth. This is coat number 3, by the way. And just go around. I'll show you in a second. Joy of this stuff is it goes on creamy and then it dries clear, like some other things, which we won't mention because I'm sure that would be classed as smut. Anyway, let's see if we can get this in shot. Dip your cloth in, get a nice coating on there. Put it on like this, and yeah, I know it looks, oh my god, what are you doing? You wipe it over, and that is enough to do the whole thing. It's probably enough to do both sides, to be honest. Wipe it on. Enjoy using a cloth as well, as you can hear where the dry spots are because they drag, whereas where the varnish is, there's no noise. And then just start wiping the excess off. On the checkering, just give it a rub. You need to come back to that, go over it again, and then you're wiping the varnish off. I'll get a clean cloth in a second, go over and get the excess off. You're making sure you put a good coat on there, but also just look at it, make sure there's no smears, make sure there's no runs. And while you're turning it as well, have a decent light on overhead and you can see if there's any dry stripes. Now just be careful with this stuff. It is very fast drying, which is another reason why I like using it. However, it can actually start drying while you're putting it on. And if you wipe over the top again, you can actually remove the varnish. So just be cautious of that. Keep the job quick. Don't be tempted to go back and touch in. Leave that for the next coat. I'm just going over it, looking, making sure, as I said, there's no runs, no obvious creamy stains. That's absolutely full. Maybe I should edit that one out. Yeah, I'll edit that out if I remember. Need to do down in the groove as well and get down here, but that's a little slot gets quite rough down in there. It's not very well finished from the factory, and that is just going to suck moisture up. There we go. Right. This is already starting to dry. I can feel my thumb sticking to the butt. I'm going to resist the urge to say, and you don't want your thumb sticking to the butt. Oh, I just did. Okay. Just this bit here needs a bit of wiping over with a clean cloth. Yeah, this is starting to dry, so got to be careful now. See, there's a dry spot here. Resolved. Okay. I hope you can see the joy of using a cloth. You don't end up with brush marks, and you don't end up with damn bristles coming off. Oh, it drives me mad. Yeah, I'll get a clean cloth and do that bit. Let's soak up the puddle of white juice in there. I'll go there. Just what the royal family have been doing for years, the withdrawal technique. That's what your tummy button ends up with. Like, did I do it? Oh, maybe I should edit that. Be fine, I'm sure. Everyone's got a sense of humour, haven't they? Looking good now. Yeah. God, look at that. Look at that grain. Look at the pistol grip as well. I mean, oh, that is beautiful. Who says beech is an ugly wood? Huh? Who says walnut is the only sexy wood? Well, apart from pretty much everybody, but I think this is having a good go. Really, it's having a good bash at it. Right, stop blithering, get that excess out of there. And yeah, calling that third coat done. Leave it to dry. Reassembly time. Going to leave it to dry for about an hour. Right, now the stock's absolutely gleaming. Look at that. Oh yeah, gorgeous. Not gloss, satin. So it's not too shiny, but yeah. Dang it, there we go. Spotting perfection. There we go, lovely. Anyway, put it back together now. I can't show you putting it back together because YouTube gets angsty about me assembling firearms, so I'm not going to. I'm gonna. You'll rejoin me when it's back together. Back up together. Wish I could have shared this process with you, putting a rubber spacer in there and chemically blacking the parts of that gun tough butt pad, and irritatingly it's staying like going grey here. There's some sort of reaction. Unfortunately, if you don't get all the oxide off, that's what happens, but Magic Sharpie will rescue that. Anyway, yeah, I wish I could have took you along for this process, but unfortunately that seems to be one of the things that YouTube gets super angsty about. Fitting recoil pads. Right. Anyway, yeah, there we go. Back up together. Scope her up. Take her to the range. There we go. Beautiful. Please, just bear in mind as well that my videos are aimed at beginners. So don't be expecting to tune in and watch someone get it perfectly right first time, because that's the process, that's how you learn, that's how you develop. Make mistakes and learn from them. It's just what happens. Here we go, all back together. A nice hawk scope there, and a hawk mount. Yeah, she's looking good now. Just bear in mind as well, peeps, this was a budget build and I'm not exactly rolling in it. So that's why I've stuck with the budget parts that I've had rather than investing in a proper tuning kit. and let's see what happens. I mean, yeah, I'm fully prepared that it's probably not going to perform with those bits on it, but you know, let's just see what happens. The scope, by the way, was a Hawk Vantage 4-12 by 40, and yeah, I think it looks at home there. And yeah, Hawk mount rather than sports match because, as I say, budget. Do I like Hawk mounts? Not really, no. Sticky pads are doom. Do I think it's going to matter and it's going to be a problem? No, it's not going to be a problem. Oh, by the way, just for the... Oh, it's hitting it. No, it's not. It's clearing it, so it's fine. Yeah, there we go. Wish I could have shown you fitting this adjustable butt pad. Really do. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't seem to like that. It's a recoil pad. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make it illegal. It is what it is, okay? I fitted a rubber spacer in there. It's not perfect. I could do a little tweak up here, but you know what? That's fine. And yeah, and chemically blacked the aluminium so it doesn't look quite so cheap. I quite like this brown pad as well. I think that looks special. And I'm glad I went with the... It's here, not here. Glad I went with the silver trigger and silver adjuster screw over the gold ones. I think that just makes it look much better. Yeah, there we go. All back together. Happy with it. Well, happy with how it looks. Going to be interesting to see how it performs.